best friend. What is up, my beautiful Glamazons? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to story time this week. Are y'all excited? Because me too. Okay, so today's story time is a part of my Pretty Petty series. I saw some of you guys really wanting another Pretty Petty story and I got you. I've actually been dying to tell you guys this story since my last Pretty Petty confession. I think it was the second one. If you guys haven't seen that series, I would highly recommend you watch it, especially if you love chisme, because this is like tea, but like concentrated tea. You know what I mean? In one of my Pretty Petty confessions, I had one of y'all admit to getting drunk and taking a shit in their sister's neighbor's driveway and then blaming it on their sister. It was like a mess, literally a mess. I teased you guys a little bit there and I told y'all I did something similar. I didn't take a shit anywhere, but I did do something to somebody's things, and that is that story today. So if you guys want to stick around and hear about what I did and some ratchet mess that I did, please keep on watching. And of course, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you be a part of my glam fam. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and of course that notification bell so you never miss out on any of these new videos, because girl, when you need just a break in time, I am here for that. Now, before we get into the story, as per usual, I'm going to be giving my Glamazon shot of the day a shout out. If you would like your chance to be my Glamazon shot, super simple. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I do toggle between the two. And you just hashtag Glamazon shot, send me your cutest selfie. You never know, it might be you. I pick on the day of filming, so it's super random. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. And you living in Texas, girl. Yes. Everybody say what's up to our girl. You can find her at Gianna_Gee. I think that's how you pronounce your username, girl, on Instagram. Yes, ma'am. I'm loving the denim on denim. Your luscious locks, though. Okay. Fucking queen. Yes. Thank you so much for being one of my ride or dies. Thank you so much for watching me, girl, and supporting me and loving me. You look amazing. Thank you for tagging me in this photo. It blessed my eyes. It really did. I love you so much. Thank you guys so much for always loving me and supporting me. You guys know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all already should have been done, had your wine and your snacks. I'll give you 2 minutes to do so.
In the meantime, in between time, while you're getting your life together, girl, I just wanted to show you a secret weapon of mine, one of my favorite skincare products of all time. You guys know that I love a good Timeee mask. This is their detox mask. It not only helps purify my skin, but it does it in a gentle way without any irritation. It's my favorite. Speaking of my favorites, if you are shopping for Christmas and you're wondering what my arsenal is as far as wellness, definitely check out Timeee's website. I actually have all of my favorites all in one place. You can shop them in a bundle. What's included in this bundle is not only the detox mask that I'm using today to clear up my skin, but also my favorite face oil. It is called the Repair Oil. This stuff absorbs into your skin like nothing else. It does not just lay on top of your skin. It's all natural and it's made with tea, so it's amazing. The next thing included is the green superfood blend powder. This I mix with water and lemon in the mornings. I love it. This is such an amazing source of greens and it's all made with superfoods. And last but not least, the thing that has saved me from my postpartum hair loss is the Beauty Butterfly collagen powder. This I mix in with my shakes, my smoothies, and it has made such a difference. It's made with the highest premium grade collagen. So if you guys are looking for wellness gifts for yourself or somebody close to you, definitely check out Timeee. Check out some of my favorites. But if you're not interested in shopping every product in the bundle, you can definitely shop them separately. I just wanted to let you guys know that my favorites are on the Timeee's website and I swear by them. I know that you're going to love them. So definitely check them out. I will have the link down in my description box below. Don't forget to use my code Nikki30 for 30% off of your purchase, and that will give you $40 in savings. I will have the link down in my description box below. Happy shopping and happy wellness, girl. Now it's time for us to get into today's ratchet story time.
So everyone, cheers, take a sip, and let's get into my story. So I actually had to talk to my mom about this story not too long ago, just to make sure that I have my facts right, because I was so young. I remember doing this. The days leading up to it are a little foggy, but I know why I did it. So that's the part I'm going to be telling you. And I verified it with my mama and my brother to make sure that, you know, I'm not fibbing. Okay. So this story takes place when I was a little girl. And before I get into this, I just want to preface this as per usual and let you guys know there are so many reasons why I am the way that I am, obviously, just like you. A lot of you guys are very intrigued by my relationship with my son. And I hate calling him my stepson because he doesn't like that and I don't like that, and it's not in our vocabulary. If you do that, that's cool. But anyways, my son, people are really intrigued by our relationship because I treat him as though he's my own. And in my heart and in my spirit, he really is. That's not to say that I'm taking away from any other parent. I just want to be the best here that I can be and be a good support system for him. And I want him to understand that there is no different type of love or different amount of love between him and my other baby. So in this story, you're going to find out a little bit of why, just a tad bit, a little sprinkle of why I handle my relationship with my son that way. If you don't know, I'm gonna let you know. I did grow up in a single parent home, and so that meant that, we didn't have a dad. So, anytime my mama dated, we were immediately, the step kids, and we were not their kids. And I just remember, being in that situation, and more than anything, my brother and I just wanted to feel like we belonged. We wanted somebody to make us feel like we were theirs. You know what I mean? And it's such an infuriating and hurtful feeling for a child when you make them feel otherwise, and this was my personal experience. And this is a direct reason, why I have my relationship with my son that I have. So just keep that in mind. So this will give you a little peek into why, okay? Let's rewind. I'm not going to tell you the year because I'm not about to age myself like that, okay? I am a lady. So I'm probably like 6 or 7 years old. Like, I'm little, but I'm not that little, My mom, she was single, ready to mingle, and she had gone a few years without dating anybody, and she was very suspicious, and she was very careful about who she brought around us, myself and my brother. So a lot of times when my mom would date, she would go and do that and then come home. She did not like bringing men to us if she didn't feel like it was serious, right? Well, girl, one day came around and my mom had a man's, and he was really nice. We will call him Pablo. Pablo was from New York, okay? I don't know if I did that accent right. He was a New Yorker, all right? Now, I'm gonna say this, and I hope my mom doesn't mind, but my mom has always had a type, okay? And my mom loves her a good bad boy. She loves her good. Loves the thuggish, ruggish bone of it all, okay? I remember that he was bald, and I remember that he was tall, and I remember that he was super fit and super muscular, and he had some tattoos. I also remember that he was pretty well off, okay? Because look, we came from humble beginnings. Imagine this. My mom comes home one day and she says, she has a man's, and we know about this guy. She keeps him, away. And then she figures, after however much time that she feels comfortable with, she decides that she wants us to meet him. So my brother and I meet Pablo, and we always like to make a good first impression, because my mama, she was like, don't you embarrass me, okay? I raised you right. So we knew that we had to be on our best behavior. So we always try to be as respectful as possible. Now, I will say around this time, this would put my brother at around 12, 13 years old. So he's entering his teenagehood. You gotta expect, him to be a little slick at the mouth. My brother just always has something to say all the time. I don't even know why I'm saying has. He always has something to say. So, this guy was meeting us at a very interesting point in our life. Let's just say that. Seems like things are going well. And you know what? Honestly, actually, my brother and I really liked this guy. He, was funny, but honestly, I'm gonna be real. We were materialistic than a mofo, okay? This dude had money, and he owned a business, and his business was selling cigars. Now, if you guys don't know anything about this life, girl, cigars are very expensive, and it is a very expensive hobby and habit to have. So he had this business where he sold top tier cigars, and he had this bar in there, and he would entertain his patrons, and he just had this very luxurious business, and he had a nice car, and he also had a really nice apartment, and it was definitely a bachelor pad, okay? Anytime my mom wanted to go on a date with her mans, she did what everybody does, and she would drop us off with our grandma, and she would go with her mans and do her mess, and then come back and whatever. So we never knew where this dude lived until one weekend came around, and I guess my grandma wasn't available. Something was going on, and we had something going on in our place. It was like maintenance wise. Like we had to be out of our apartment and just for a little bit, like for 2 or 3 days. My grandma was like out of town. I think she was in San Antonio visiting her sister. So this all happened at a really bad time. And so, you know, my mom was in a hard spot and she was like, oh shit, you know, my apartment's being worked on, this and that. I remember going with my mom and my brother, and she took us to Pablo's job. I remember walking around and just seeing glass cases, you guys, from like ceiling to the floor, just all glass, and inside the glass was all of these cigars. I just thought, oh my god, that looks like candy wrappers. Like they just look like a bunch of candy wrappers, and some of them were in like really nice oak boxes, but like, you know, I'm just walking around, you know, like a 6-7-year-old little girl looking at all these cigars, and I'm like, wow, like people pay for this? It's crazy. Like this is like smoking cigarettes on a whole other level. What is this? And y'all, I was so not about that life. When I was a kid, I had such a disdain for smokers. And it was because my school had showed me like the do not smoke campaigns. And you know, like the lady that has like the hole in her throat and all that happens. And they like be scaring you and telling you like, this will happen to you if you smoke. So I was on this kick, I remember. And I was on this for damn near my whole childhood. Where if I found out anybody smoked, I would like start crying. Like I would be like, why would you do that to yourself? Do you want that there? Do you want this hole there? You're gonna get a hole there. Like I definitely remember having an issue when my mom was trying to explain like what he did for a living and what all of these things were on the wall, and I was like, wait a minute, they're smoking? Oh my god. So, you know, I really did not like his business. So at this point in time, my brother and I are like, damn, we about to have a rich stepdaddy. Oh my god. The moment came around where my mom was in that hard spot, and, you know, she talked to her mans about it. And so Pablo was like, hey, you know, I know your mom is out of town. I know you got shit going on at your place. So why don't you and the kids come to my place for the weekend, and you know, we'll have some fun, and we'll do some family stuff, and we'll do stuff for the kids, and you know, this and that. And so this was the first time that we were going to be going over to his place. So my brother and I are all excited. We pack up our stuff. My mom tells us that we're going to have a sleepover at Pablo's place, and I was so excited. And honestly, like, I know that this sounds sad, and I'm not trying to like be boo-hoo right now, but I was really excited at the prospect of like having a dad. And I was like, oh my god. We pack up and we go over to his place, and I just want to paint the scene, girl. He had, like I said, it was the epitome of a bachelor pad, because it was a 1-bedroom apartment, but it was very, very nice. So you walk in, you're right in the living room. There's like a balcony off to the left of the living room. To the right is a kitchen, and it had like all of the latest appliances. He had a really nice dining table. Everything was like pristine. He did not have anything out of place. And then right in front of you, there was like a small hallway. There was a bathroom, and then right in front of you was a door, and in that door was his room. So it was a small place, but it was one of those upscale small places. You know what I mean? You could tell by the fixtures and like everything in there and the placement. Girl, it was very schwanky, okay? You know, my brother and I are like little hood kids. We really are. We had never seen a place like this ever. So, you know, we're walking in and we're like, oh my god. Y'all, his couch was like all leather and like nice. Everything was like cherry wood. Back then, cherry wood was like the fucking jam. And like he had like, you know, all the black shiny furniture. It's like black and like gleaming, and like his coffee table, like fucking immaculate, bitch. Like this was crazy. I had never seen such a well-groomed and really organized man before. And it turns out that Pablo definitely had maybe a bit of OCD, or he just liked things a certain way. I want to say that he was in the military at some point. I think that's what my mom told me, because he had that type of militaristic way of doing things where everything had to be just so. So I think he was in the military, which, you know, gives you an idea of how his apartment looked. We end up spending the night and we have fun. He ends up waking up the next day, making us breakfast. Everything's all good. And, you know, my brother and I are having a good time. time. This is like a vacation for us, like straight up. We were in this nice ass apartment with this dude who's making us breakfast. My mama is all in a good ass mood, you know what I mean? And like, you know, we really are. He has cable, girl. He has like all the stuff that we don't have at home. And so, you know, we're really enjoying ourselves. We're just kicking back and enjoying ourselves. And so that weekend went by without a hitch. Fast forward, and we had a few more sleepovers there, like a handful more. And then by this point, we're getting to know each other, all of us. We're getting used to Pablo. Pablo's getting used to us, and we're kind of establishing our relationship at this point. Now, for me personally, I liked Pablo. I thought that he was nice. I did think he was a little stern, not stern, but just like he had this thing about him where he seemed really strict. So like that kind of, you know, I kind of side-eyed him for that. But honestly, if you were a dude that could be my dad, like as a little girl, I was just like, oh my God, I think you're perfect. That this is amazing. I think you're amazing. I tried to be the very best stepdaughter that I possibly could be. Now, my brother, on the other hand, the more comfortable he got, the more slick at the mouth that he would get, okay? And, you know, once he starts getting to know you, he starts letting his true personality out. And my brother has a tendency, look, it's in our DNA. He's a smart ass. I'm a smart ass. We're all smart. It's just in our DNA. Like, don't take it personal, all right? Like, that's how it's our love language. So as time was going on, my brother would, you know, get slick every now and then. He would have something to say. Like, he's always been that type of person, but this was the first time that Pablo was seeing this side of my brother. And I don't want you to misunderstand. My brother is not like, he wasn't like a disrespectful kid, but if you had even the slightest of like a little attitude in your tone, he would have something to say back, especially because you weren't our daddy, okay? Like, there were a few moments that Pablo tried to correct my brother, and each and every single time, it didn't matter if my mama was in the bathroom, it didn't matter where she was in that apartment, she would like hear it, and she would be like, don't correct my son. What did he do? You let me know and I will talk to him. Like, Pablo, you know we don't play that, right? Pablo kind of started getting a little bit annoyed that my mom would constantly intervene every time he was trying to correct my brother. And my brother was getting annoyed that he was even trying to correct him in the first place. So my brother was like, yeah, you can't tell me shit. Like, you could talk to my mama. And so my brother had like that thing about him, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm just there like, oh my God, I just want everybody to get along because I just want us to be a family. Like, don't ruin it. So, you know, I'm looking at my brother sideways, kicking him under the table, like, shut up, like, stop always having to say something. You're ruining my chance of having a rich daddy. Damn. My brother was really, really into his outward appearance. He was one of those that would like meticulously clean his shoes with like a toothbrush. So along with that, he would also iron his shirts and like make them crisp, okay? Like, I'm talking about crisp. I don't know what it is about Latinos, but we can go at some fabric with some starch and like, you know, like just straight. My brother had an obsession with his clothes being very nice and very ironed out. He did not like wrinkles. So one night comes around, girl, and my brother is getting ready for something the next day. And we're at Pablo's. He pulled out, you know, a shirt or whatever he wanted to iron out of his bag. And he told Pablo that he wanted to iron his clothes. Pablo was like, all right, little man, I got you. And so Pablo pulled out his ironing board and his iron and set it up in his room. And my brother went in there. And so I followed too, because I was just like being nosy. So I witnessed Pablo stop my brother. Like, my brother already knew how to iron. And so my brother, like, you know, plugged in the iron and he's doing his thing. And all of a sudden, Pablo intervened and was like, no, that's not how you do it. And my brother was like, wait, what? So Pablo ended up teaching my brother how to properly iron. So you know how like on irons, if you don't do it right, you can end up burning the bottom of the iron. And pretty much everybody does this. Like, if you've had an iron for a good minute, you'll have like some brown spots on the actual iron plate. I mean, my grandma sure did. Like, my grandma's iron was brown as fuck, but that shit iron your clothes. When Pablo intervened, he was like, no, you cannot burn my iron. Like, I don't like that brown stuff on my iron. And my brother was like, wait, isn't that just like what happens to an iron over time? And he was like, no, not if you do it right, because like this and that, this and that. So I was there, you guys, when he was correcting my brother and teaching him how to iron the right way. And he was like, if you do it this way, and you don't have it too hot, and you don't do this and that, you won't get that brown like burn mark on your iron. Then he ended up, standing there. My brother's trying to, iron, and he would mess up, and Pablo was like correcting him, was like, stop doing that, like this is how you do it, I'm telling you. And so my brother was like, man, with the way you're making me do it, I'm gonna be here for like an hour trying to iron this one sleeve. He always has something to say. At this time, my mom was in the shower. So Pablo and my brother start going round and round a little bit. And Pablo is like, look, man, this is how you need to do it in order for you not to ruin my iron. And my brother was like, it's just the iron, man. Like, I'm just trying to, can you not hover over me? Like, I know how to iron. I've been doing this since I was little. Like, just let me do my shit. Pablo was like, no, you're not going to be sitting up there ruining my things. Pablo kind of got an attitude. It was like, you're not going to ruin my iron. So if you're going to use it, you're going to use it the way I tell you to. Both me and my brother, we were like, okay. My brother sat there. He sat silent. My mom gets out the shower. She gets dressed. And as soon as she opens the bathroom door, my brother's sitting there and he's like, Mom, apparently I need to relearn how to use the iron because Pablo, I'm not allowed to iron my clothes without him here because I might burn his iron. And so my mom, she's all confused. She looks over at Pablo and she's like, what? And he was like, look, I'm just trying to teach him how to iron the right way. That way he doesn't burn the irons that he has in the future. He really tried to make it like, oh, it really wasn't that big of a deal. When in all actuality, before my mama stepped out that bathroom, my brother and Pablo were bumping heads. And I mean like bumping heads. And my brother was not backing down. Keep in mind, my brother now at full grown, he's like 6'3", but he was already almost 6 foot by the time he was 12 years old. So he was tall. So he was eye to eye with this dude, and I saw the whole thing. So when my mom came out, Pablo really tried to downplay what happened between him and my brother. And my brother got really annoyed. My mom ended up telling him, you know what, my son knows what he's doing. If he ruins your fucking iron, I'll buy you a new one. Like, stop it. It doesn't need to be that big of a deal. So my brother ended up finishing ironing his clothes. He was very delicate and careful about it. And he was so annoyed that this was even an issue. Fast forward, we have dinner. And I remember that, I don't know what we were eating, girl. And this is just a random side note, but I remember the moment that I decided that I had like a problem. And it is so weird. It is so weird that this was my breaking point, okay? Because I had already seen this man get smart with my brother. And I know what I saw before my mom stepped out that bathroom. So I already kind of, was looking at him sideways. Fast forward, we had dinner. I remember eating, and it was not spicy at all. It was not a spicy meal. Out of nowhere, my brother kind of like nudges me in my leg, like under the table. And so I look up at him. He just sits there and he looks forward and he goes like this. And so I look over. I look at Pablo. And this dude is drenched in sweat, y'all. Like, I'm talking about like sweat. We were not eating anything spicy. I don't know what was going on with him. I don't know. But like every time this dude ate, he would just like fucking, like, you would think that he was going round 11 and boxing, girl. Like, he was sweating so much at the table. Like, it was crazy. To the point where my mom had to like grab a napkin. She was like, oh my God, baby, you okay? And like, she was like dabbing his sweat. And I was like, ugh. Why are you sweating so much? So girl, after that I was like, you know what, maybe you're not the one that I want to be my dad. Thanks. Fast forward, I don't know how much time, and my brother was doing the same thing. He wanted to iron his clothes. At this time, I don't know exactly where my mom went. She says that she remembers that she went to the grocery store. She was running errands at this time, and we were with Pablo at his place, and he knew that he had to iron a specific way as to not ruin Pablo's precious motherfucking iron, right? So my brother talks to Pablo. Pablo's like, yeah, you can iron your clothes, but you know the deal, right? Like, that you gotta iron the way that I tell you to iron, otherwise you can't use it. My brother was like, yeah, dude, like, I get it. He goes over to his bag and he grabs his clothes, and Pablo sets out the ironing board, the whole thing. And again, my brother tries to iron his clothes and Pablo is standing over him, like just watching everything that he's doing, and every single move my brother made, it was wrong. My brother, you know, tried to set the dial on the iron. He was like, nope, that's wrong. He tried to like grab the starch. You don't put the starch on there right now. That's how you burn shit. Like, that's probably why all your shit's all burnt. Basically going into telling my brother, you'll ruin this. And then he just started like going off on a tangent about like, this is probably why your mom can't have nice things, because you treat shit like this. And like, going after my brother and like trying to say that we don't have nice shit because of my brother. My brother like put his shit down and he was like, hold up, what? And my brother hated when people, especially like other dudes, talked about our life like they knew us. And so my brother was like, hold the fuck up. Like, you don't know me, first of all. Second of all, like, I don't give a fuck who you think you are. You're dating my mom. She's the one who taught me to iron in the first place. So if you have a problem, you could talk to her. But like, every time she comes around, you're real quick to get quiet. My brother really was standing his ground and was like, dude, you need to back up. Like, it doesn't need to be all this. This is an iron that you're talking about. Like, Pablo got so upset and he was like, this is why you need a man in your life to teach you how to respect men, because obviously you don't know nothing about that, but I'm gonna teach you about that today. Now imagine this in his New York accent, okay? I'm not really great at accents, but you know, he has his New York accent, which made it even, he would like jab at you with his words. My brother's 13 years old. Meanwhile, my little ass is in the corner of the room watching this entire thing go on. And I am literally watching front row this man acting a complete fucking fool with my brother and literally going at him like that. Like, this is why your mom ain't got nice shit. This is why she can't have nice shit, because you be doing shit like this. You don't know how to act. This is why you need a man. This is why you, like, I could tell you didn't grow up with a dad. Like, I remember feeling absolutely angry because of the shit that we have been through. You can't say shit to me or around me about my brother. You can and will not do that, okay? Even when I was that little. So I heard and saw this entire thing go down. And this man, he stepped out his lane for sure. He got in my brother's face. He insulted my brother, how we were raised, basically blaming us for why my mom couldn't have nice shit. Like, all up in our lane and not in his own motherfucking lane. And the fact that he was so hurtful and demeaning to my brother. Oh, bitch. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's cute. Okay. You like your things nice, huh? Okay. Shortly thereafter, my mom came. And when she came back to the apartment, my brother didn't say anything. And of course, Pablo didn't say anything. He's not going to tell on himself. And I remember looking over at my brother like, are you going to tell mom? And he didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to say nothing. He just did not want to. He did not mention it. He just stayed away from Pablo for the rest of the night. My mom made dinner. We had dinner as per usual. He's over there fucking sweating. I'm like, ugh. What was different about this night is usually like I loved talking to Pablo, but I didn't have shit to say to him this evening. So I stayed quiet through dinner, through everything. And my mom asked me what was wrong, and I told her nothing, that I was just tired. And you know, she was like, all right, well, you let me know. And in my mind, I was like, no need. I got this. Remember I told you about that really nice ass leather couch? Well, it was super, super big, and it was like in the shape of an L. So my brother and I slept on that because it was huge. Like, it took up 2 walls of his entire living room. Fast forward, and we start getting ready for bed, and I knew that we were going to see my grandma the next day, so we were only going to be spending the night for that night. We do our nighttime routine. My mom says goodnight, and her and Pablo go into the room for bed. And then my brother and I, we get ready to go to bed. And what I did like about being at Pablo's place is because we slept in the living room, we could watch TV until really, really late. We'd be up all night, girl. So, we were watching MTV and stuff. We stayed up really late, snacking, whatever. Everything was normal. And then it was time for us to go to sleep. My brother turned off the TV. Normal, schnormal, sleep and stuff. I was a plotting ass child, okay? I really was. And I was pissed about this. And typically, I don't know why I always did this, but I did. I would always wait. I just waited and waited and waited. Usually, I would have waited this out, but I knew that, you know, my grandma was going to be coming back in town. I just knew that I didn't have much time to get back at Pablo. Pissed me off by talking to my brother like that. He pissed me off by taking that opportunity when my mom was away to talk to my brother like that. He pissed me the fuck off by trying to blame us for the way things turned out and saying that, like, essentially, like, my mom, like, we're making my mom's life worse and shit like that. Like, it's hurtful ass shit, and it's not your motherfucking place. And I was so mad. I knew that I needed to do something. I knew that it needed to happen tonight. It was in this moment that I decided that I was going to be pretty petty. My brother and I already stayed up pretty late watching MTV, watching music videos, and I fell asleep for probably like 3-4 hours, and it was like 5 in the morning. It was very, very early. Nobody was up, and I'm just laying there. Crazy thought comes in my head. Split second. And I was like, oh man, you know, all this because he likes his shit to look nice. He likes his things, including this couch that I'm currently sleeping on. Super nice, skin nice. And he actually made mention to how nice this couch was. Like, he made mention to how expensive this couch was. And so I was like, wow, this is a really nice couch. I bet he really loves this couch. I bet he really adores this couch. I had my covers, and I did, y'all, in my head. In my head. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And it is what it is. And this is for talking to my brother crazy, bitch. This is what you get. Bitch, I peed on his couch. And I mean pee, not a little tinkle, bitch. Not a little drip, no nothing. I full on, purposely, did not go to the bathroom before going to bed, which was my usual, okay? Because I didn't want to pee the bed, you know what I mean? But on this day, I purposely did not go to the bathroom before going to bed because I knew that I was going to pee on his couch. And I did. I peed on his leather. I peed on his blankets. Acted like I was freaked out, bitch, and like I was gonna hide it. And I even put the pillow on top of the pee and got pee all over the pillow and the pillowcase, bitch. I did it. I did the most. And then I didn't tell anybody. I know that this is disgusting, but I was doing it for a reason, okay? And I laid in my pee for about another hour until my mom got up. All my pajama bottoms all full of pee. The couch all full of pee. The blankets all full of pee. My mom comes out. I stand up and I'm like, Mommy, I had an accident. She comes over to me. She was like, what happened? You forgot to go to the bathroom before you went to sleep? And I was like, yeah, Mom. You know, I just like really miss Grandma. I did, girl. I made it about my grandma. I was like, I just really like I miss Grandma and I don't want to stay here no more. And like, I just like forgot. She wants to put me in the shower. She's like, you know, let's get you bathed and everything. And while she's doing that, I look up. And there's Pablo in the doorway coming out and he sees this entire fucking mess and there's pee all over his nice ass couch. And what he doesn't know is that I didn't just do this. I did this a few hours ago and it's been sitting there marinating, bitch. Y'all, he was so fucking pissed. He was so mad. He like got red in the face and he was like, what just happened? What just happened? And my mom was like, she had an accident. Like, you let me deal with this. Don't say shit. And like, we'll figure this out later. Because she saw that he was getting an attitude. And I was like, yeah, what you gonna do? Not shit. Not shit. My mom puts me in the shower, you know, gets us ready. I don't know who cleaned it. I don't know if it was my mom. But I will tell you this. I didn't clean it. After I got out of the shower, my mom got us ready and we left and we went to go see my grandma. So I don't know who cleaned that shit. I'm assuming it was him. And I hope he had fun. I really do. I hope that he had fun with every single drop of pee on his damn couch. And I hope that it stained it, made it smell. I hate when people take advantage of the fact that kids are misfortunate like that, or if they don't have a parent. And even fucking insinuating that that shit is their fault is not okay at all whatsoever. You don't get to talk to my brother like that, especially not in my motherfucking presence. And honestly, straight up, nobody should be talking to no kids like that when they come from a broken home and even try to insinuate that it is the child's fault. The fuck? You think that you could just say that because my brother ain't got no dad? You think that you could just get away with that shit because my mom wasn't here to defend us? Oh, bitch, you forgot about me. I hate when people take advantage of kids that are from broken homes and treat them badly and say terrible mean shit to them and make it seem like the way that their life turned out or their parents not working out or anything like that was their fault. Like, that shit is not okay. And that's the type of shit that he was telling my brother. I knew that I had something for his ass. I didn't need my mom to do anything to him or anything. I got it. So that was why I didn't tell her, because I knew, like, what the fuck you gonna do to me? I wish you would. You ain't my daddy. You made that apparent. It can affect how you feel about yourself, and you cannot have people in your life even insinuating that that shit is your fault, you know? And like, more than anything, I just wanted somebody to make my brother and I feel like we belonged. We just wanted somebody to just love us unconditionally, and unfortunately, we never found that. And now that we know how that feels, my brother is a step parent, I am a step parent, and we hate those names. We do not call our children that. They are our sons, and that's just how it is. And that is why, because when you are on the receiving end of that and you are a child from a broken home and your parent is dating, you will forever be the stepchild. And it is very, very hurtful because it makes a distinct difference between you and their real children or whatever the case may be. And it's just not, it's not a nice feeling. That is the story about the time that I peed on a mofo's couch for talking to my brother sideways and for coming out his motherfucking lane. And also for being a little biatch and deciding to have that conversation and getting all smart when my mom was not home. Because the minute my mom walked in, his whole demeanor changed. Oh, everything's fine. I just love your kids. No, the fuck you don't. So they broke up after that. My mom was not putting up with his shit. That was the end of Pablo, and it turns out that he ended up, like, I don't know, ending up bankrupt and lost his business. Everything went downhill after that. So anyways, girl, that is my story for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Let me know down below, especially if you came from a single parent household, what your experience was like when your parent was dating, and did you do anything to kind of drive away their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, because I know it wasn't just us. But let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for coming to chill with me for story time today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and check out my playlist for more story times, pretty petty confessions, Ask Nikki's, makeup videos, fashion videos, whatever you're into. You can definitely find all of that here, so stick around, watch a video or two. Thank you so much for being here and chilling with me. I love you guys so much, and I will see your fine ass in my next video. Peace out, y'all.